Hi guys, today we are going to start on time and distance problems. Throughout the session, I'll be focusing only on this formula. Speed is equal to total distance upon total time. And we will solve many tricky questions and very tough questions by just mathematically formulating that problem and solving that problem. I will recommend you not to remember any formula other than this. This is a generalized case we all know from our childhood. The total distance upon total time is speed. So let's start. So the first concept that I am going to start here will be the average speed concept. You guys will get many questions on this, and these lessons we will be mainly focusing of mathematical formulation for the problem. We won't be using any formula. That I am making you sure that we other than this I won't use any formula to solve any problem of time and distance. And also so here is one type of question as average speed question that is asked in many exams, and I have seen these questions in multiple exams. So let's start with a simple example. Like a person, it goes from A to B with speed of x meter per second. From B to C, y meter per second, or else whatever it is. So x and y meters. Now I ask you to find out the average speed. Let's see that let's take the total distance from A to B is A, small a, and small b is the total distance from B to C. So just go to our formula. This is the average, this is the formula. So we need to tackle out the total time taken here. So we will just change the formula. Time will be distance upon speed. Just vice versa, we just change the formula, that's all. So the time taken from A to B will be total distance between A to B, that is A, upon the speed x. Same for B to C, the time, let's see, I am giving t1 to this time between A to B and t2 to this time between B to C. So t2 will be distance between B to C, this is small b, upon the speed is y. So this is our t1, this is our t2. So our average speed will be total distance, that is A plus B, total distance upon total time, t1 plus t2. The formula for t1 and t2 we gave is A plus B upon A by x plus B by x. Friends, you will see many problems of these kind of to find out the average speed. So I'll recommend you just mathematically formulate the problem and solve the problem by this. So this is the concept of average speed. So second concept I am going to tell about is relative speed. I am keeping this formula here only because this is the only formula we will be using throughout this whole lesson. On relative speed, according to the theory of relativity, is just us in science, relative, everything in the universe is relative. Whatever you are seeing is relative to, like I am seeing some car is going somewhere, so the car is moving relative to me. That's why I can see that it is going far from me or coming near to me. So this is the concept of relative speed. So how this concept works? So relative speed, let's take x is a person who is moving in this direction by a meter per second speed. and y is another person who is moving in this direction with b meter per second. Since both are moving in same direction, whenever I will ask you what will be the relative speed between these two, so if we will see from y perspective, so the relative speed will be a minus b, and vice versa for x perspective, b minus a. So if x is looking at y, he will see that y is moving by b minus a speed. And if y is looking at a, he will find that y is looking at x, he will find that x is moving by a minus b speed. The same concept of relativity will apply in all the formulas. What if they are moving in opposite direction? Like x is moving with a speed in this direction and y is moving in opposite direction with b speed. So when x will see, you might have seen the same kind of effect when you are traveling in train. You'll see that if the train is crossing in the same direction, you will feel that train is moving slowly. This relativity concept is easily can be seen in daily life. And if the train is moving in opposite direction, you will see that the other train is moving very fastly because we are also moving in opposite direction. So when x will see towards y, so he will find that y is moving with direction with speed of b plus a. And when y will see that at x, then he will find that x is also moving with a plus b speed. So this is the concept of relative speed we will be applying in multiple questions, and for mathematically formulating the questions and solving the equations. So okay, after this we will start with some questions. This is our first question. Remember, I have told you we are not going to use any other formula other than total time is equal to total distance per total speed. Other than this, we are not going to use any formula for solving any problem of time and distance. So let's take this problem. So here, I would recommend you to always use mathematical formulation for the problem, and more try to take, if possible, try to take variables and solve the problem. So let's see, Ram starts from a point A and goes to point B, and total distance covered by Ram is d, and the total time taken by him is t. First of all, so the question says a person covers certain distance from his home to park at a speed of 20 km per hour. So we already know the speed of Ram while going to home to park from A to B. Let's say it is a home and it is park. The speed is 20 km per hour. And reaches 10 minutes late. So Ram is late by 10 minutes. Here, because he is late by 10 minutes, it means he has taken more time than usual. Here t is the usual time taken by Ram. So the time is t plus 10 minutes. Before going further, our time is given in minutes. Let's take all the minutes into hour. Just take care of this, that if our speed is given in kilometer per hour, our all the units will be in hour, in kilometer. Just take care of the units while solving the problems. So our time will be, because it's saying that we 10 minutes late, so it will be 10 by 60. I've converted time to hours, so it will be 1 by 6. The total time is this. We are applying the same formula. The total distance is d, and total speed is 20 km per hour, d by 20. Here is our equation number 1. Just for simplicity, change the equation, multiply by this, the whole equation by 6 and 20, and so it will be 60 plus 1 multiplied by 20 is equal to 6d. Or we can cut it down, so it will be, just after solving this we will get the final equation as 60t plus 10 is equal to thrice of d. So this is our equation 1. So we will be taking only this equation now. 60t plus 10 is equal to thrice of t. Now the second part of the problem. So if the second part of the problem says he would have reached 20 minutes earlier, means he has taken less than the time, the usual time. So time will be less than t minus 20 divided by 60. I have converted it into hours. If the speed is 30 km, again the total distance is remains same d, and our speed is 30 km per hour. So let's solve this equation again like the earlier one, and we will get. So here is our final equation, so equation number 2. 30t minus 10 is equal to d. We have two equations now. Just solve the equations and you will get the value of, because there are two unknowns t and d. It's a simple problem. We have to find out the value of t and d. So multiply by 3. This will be 30. Wait. I will write down it again. Here. 60t plus 10 is equal to thrice of t. 30t minus 10 is equal to d. So multiply this equation by 3. So it will be 30 and it will be 90. Reduce it. So this is gone. So you will get 30 t is equal to 40. So t is equal to 4 by 3 hours. Remember this is in hours, so you can convert it into minutes by multiplying 60. So it will be 4 by 3 multiplied by 60. So it will be 80 minutes. We have not used any formula to solve these problems. So just mathematically formulate the equations and solve it, and you will get the question. Here I am solving it, so it's taking. I am solving step by step to explain you. But if you'll solve in a faster way, you can directly put the options in these equations. If the options are satisfying these equations, so that is your answer. So it is the smartest approach. Just find the equations, put the options values on this equation, and if the answer matches, if the equation is satisfied, then you can directly tick that option. That is for saving the time. If you have time, you can easily solve the equation and get the answer. But even though you are solving the equation, it won't take more time. So if you already got the time, so if you want to check the distance, you can put the value of time in any of the equation. Like I am putting it on this equation. So time 4 by 3 hours. So it will be, if I'll put 4 by 3 here, so it will be 40 minus 10 is equal to D. So D is simply 30 kilometers. That's all. That's all. See, any typical problem, you need to mathematically formulate these equations for that problem. You will get the answers. Okay. So here is the problem we have solved. Let's move to some other problem. So Ram is moving in a circular round field. So let's take that the total distance covered in one run is D. So we know that the time taken for first round, let's take it as T1 for round 1, because he is having a speed of 10 kilometers, so it will be distance D upon the total speed, that is 10. Again for the second round, it will T2 is equal to D divided by 20, T3 D divided by 30, and T4 will be D divided by 40. And the total distance covered by him is D1 plus D2 plus D3 plus D4. The total distance will be 4D, because sum of all the distance will be the total distance. So we need to find out the average speed. So just move the formula here. Average speed will be total distance upon total time. So the total time will be sum of all fours. Total distance will be 4D. So we'll apply the same formula here. So our average speed will be 4D divided by D by 10 plus D by 20 plus D by 30 plus D by 40. So from here you can get the average speed. So this will boil down to 480.5. So this is your average speed. You can reduce it by dividing by 5 again. So it will be 96 divided by 5 kilometer per hour. So guys, let's move to our next question. The question says, excluding stoppage, the speed of the bus is 54 km per hour. So the speed without stoppage is given 54 km per hour. And with the including stoppage, it is 45 km per hour. So S2 I will take with stoppage. This is 45 km per hour. Okay, let's see the question clearly. So question says, how many minutes does the bus stops per hour? So how many minutes the bus stops per hour is the key sentence in this question. So how many minutes the bus stops for 1 hour? It means the time is 1 hour. So we know that the distance covered we will apply the same formula, time is equal to distance upon speed. So here instead of time we are finding out the distance. So the distance, if we will take, if he is traveling with speed of 54 kilometer per hour, how much distance he may have traveled in 1 hour. So that will be d1. So d1 will be 54 multiplied by 1 hour, because distance equal to speed multiplied by time, so it will be 54 kilometer. And the second, if he travels by 45 kilometer per hour, so he may have traveled the distance 45 kilometer. Here let's see the difference between d1 and d2. So how much extra he can travel without stopping. So he can travel without stopping. For 54 minus 45 means 9 kilometer he can travel without stopping. So that we know that this much distance he has traveled, and the speed we will take this one. We'll apply the same formula for the time. So the time will be distance divided by the total speed. Apply the same formula. So this will give the time, how much second he has, how much minutes, sorry, how much hours he has stopped. Here a question comes, why I have taken 54 as a speed, why not 45? This is the obvious confusion comes whenever we are solving the problem. So why I took 54? Because it is the speed of the bus without stopping. If he is stopping, then the speed is 45. So actual speed is 54. That's why I took 54 here. So let's convert it into, because it is in hours, so convert it into minutes. So it will be 10 minutes. So guys, let's go move to the next question. Okay, so till here I have explained mathematical formulation of the problems, because all the problems we will be using the same formula, but you need to figure out how to mathematically formulate that problem. Okay, the problem says that there are two trains in this problem. So like, let's say this is point A and this is point B. Remember, we will be using only this formula, no other formula other than this. So first train start from A and second train start from B. Both are moving in opposite direction, and the total distance between these two stations is 200. And the train, when they both crosses each other, is 110 kilometer from this place and 90 kilometer from this place. This is the only thing which solves our problem. We know the distance, so let's think what the problem says. The problem says that the first train covers 110 kilometer and the second train covers 90 kilometer, because then only they can cross each other at this point. Means the time taken by both the trains is same. That gives a guess over here. So T is same for both the trains. Now, so we have this formula here. So time is same. So for the first train, how much will be the time? That will be 110. We will apply the same formula. T1 is equal to distance. Distance is 110 divided by, let's take S1 is the speed of first train. For the second train, T2, that is 90 divided by S2. Because they both are crossing at this point, so the time taken by the first train to travel from point A to this point and the time taken by by the second train from point B to this point is same. It means T1 is equal to T2. So 110 by S1 is equal to 90 by S2. So what is the ratio of the speed? That will be S1 by S2 is simply the ratio of 110 11 by 9. Or simply we can solve this formula because time is constant, so distance will be proportional to speed. So distance is proportional to speed. It means d1 by d2 is equal to s1 by s2. You can apply the same formula and find the ratio of the speed. So here is our next question. So Ram covers the distance of 400 km by 20 km per hour and 70 km per hour in total 8 hours. So what we write that we have given the total time taken by Ram is 8 hours. Now let's mathematically formulate the problem. That is the most important part of the to solve the problem. So let's Ram starts from A point to B point. So the total distance is 400 kilometers. We need to find out how much time he took for by 20 kilometer, by traveling by 20 kilometer. So let's say that he took x. He traveled x distance with 20 kilometer per hour, and rest 400 minus x with 70 kilometer per hour. So we know that the time, we will apply the same formula here for mathematically formulating it. So let's take that the t1 is the time taken by Ram to travel the x distance. So we will apply the time is equal to distance by speed. So our distance is x and speed is 20. Same for t2. The next, that will be 400 minus x divided by 70. Now we know that t1 plus t2 is the total time, that is equal to 8 hours. We'll put these two equations in this one. So we will get x divided by 20 plus 400 minus x divided by 70 is equal to 8. Now let's solve this equation. So if we will take the LCM, then it will come, the total will be 5x plus 800 is equal to 8 multiplied by 140. So this is the equation comes if you solve this equation and write down in the proper form. After solving this one, we will get x is equal to 1120 minus 800 divided by 5. So it comes 64. So it means 64 kilometers he traveled by 20 kilometer per hour. So the time will be, we will apply the first formula what we have wrote. Time will be distance x divided by speed 20. So it will be 64 divided by 20. So it will come 3.12. If you change the 3 hour and 12 minutes. With a simple formula, you need to just mathematically formulate the problem and put the formula. Here, I just want to say one thing. Every time, take time as in constant. Means take the problem, when you are mathematically formulating the problem, any problem, So take d as in distance, time as a scalar quantity. What I mean to be scalar, that if some Ram takes this much time from this place to this place to this place, he takes t2. So scalar has a property that it can easily sum out and give the total time t1 plus t2. But speed s1 and s2, never take it as a scalar, because speed is, if you sum up the speed, it will give some different value. It will never give you the average value or the total speed. It won't give anything out, or you won't get anything out of it. So whenever you are mathematically formulating the problem, then start with the distance. Take distance as and the time as in scalar value, and speed as in vector value. Vector value means the simple sum of these two numbers doesn't give you the final speed. So always try to find out the speed with this formula, and for formulating the problem, use time as in scalar and distance as in scalar. Means at the starting you can consider time and distance, not the speed. Okay, now we will be moving. So guys, we will move to the difficult problem in the next part of this lecture series, and the relative speed concept we will use. We will try to solve some question using relative speed concept in the next chapter. And if you feel with the average speed and mathematical formulation of the problem, if you have any problem, so you can post in the comments your question. You can post in the comments. We will try to recollect all the question in our Q&A session.